Hey Dragon fam, it's Patrick at Distracted Dragon Makes. I've seen a lot of questions on Reddit about how to install OpenGrids. So I thought I'd do a quick step-by-step installation guide since I'm getting ready to do another project for the channel. So we're going to use this wall right here. It's going to be part of a bigger project, but I wanted to walk you through what it takes to put together an OpenGrid and put it on the wall. So normally I would use screws, but for this one, because of where it is, I think it's better to use command strips. So we'll be going through how to use the command strips to put your wall together and some tips and tricks on how to get this done as easily as possible so that you have the best looking wall you can. So let's jump into it. If you didn't watch the beginner's guide, please go watch that first. That goes through what all the pieces are. I'm not going to deep dive into this. What I'm going to do for this one is just simply take it, put it together, install it on the wall. So I'm not going to go into what all the parts do or any of those type things. This is strictly a install video. Let's get at it. All right, so step one in the process is to understand your size you're working with. So we're going to start off by measuring. So the TV is 36¼ inches wide. It doesn't need to be a perfect fit because there's going to be a shell built around this, but that's the general size I want to start with. From the baseboard up to the power supply is right at 61 inches. Now, if you've done this before, or if you're keen-eyed, you'll see this plug is going to fall right in the center of my OpenGrid board. Normally, I start right here above it so that I don't have to mess with going around plugs and stuff, but there's a new generator out, which I will have linked in the description, which allows you to knock it out. And if you'd like to see a full tutorial of that, leave it in the comments and I'll put out a quick how to use it video. But I'm going to go ahead and get one of those boards, and the nice part is that I'll be able to set it around it and still have full functionality on all the surrounding pieces without having to take apart the plug. The other thing, when I went and looked at this, which we'll see here in a second when I draw it up, is that an 8-inch board, or an 8x8 board, is just over 8¾ inches, which means it is 1/4 inch into the bottom of that plate. So what we're going to do is we are going to use 8 wide by 7 tall, so we have some wiggle room so I don't have to make cuts into a board just to remove 1/4 inch of material. It just doesn't make sense because it's not going to matter if it touches the baseboard or not. The thing is to make sure it is vertical and horizontally parallel, and so we want to make sure that everything looks good and easy to use. So let's go ahead and sketch out our plans. So we are going to, that is our field that we're going to do. So we need, these are each 8¾ a piece. So we can do, obviously not to size, we can do 4 rows across. Excuse my horrible drawing. The other thing we have to worry about is we have a plug there, so we are going to create a wraparound. I will have a link in the description to the generator if you want it, but I'm not going to dive into it here. So we've got our basic layout. This is going to get us our wall so that we can start attaching things to it afterwards. This time we're going to use command strips instead of screws. If you are using screws, you can just skip all the components for command strip attachment. So what are we going to need? We need 28 boards, and these are 8x8 boards. That fits on a standard bamboo printer. We are going to need 18 of the 2x2, which basically makes this a 4-block connectors. We are going to need 20 of the 1x2 connectors, These are going to snap into the back of the board, and it's what we're going to use to do the command strips. We are going to need 112 of the cam locks and the covers, which is going to just give us a nicer look. You can use the cams and not use the covers, that's up to you. And then, in order to join these boards together, I'm going to use 4 per board. So we're going to need 180 interboard connectors. Yes, my handwriting is atrocious, I know. Mrs. Neshi in 4th grade would be very upset with me. So what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to put on these edge pieces, we will use the 1x2s. And where 4 boards join, we will use the 2x2s, which hopefully will make more sense once we get out there. And then we need probably, I didn't count this up, damn. We probably need, say, 60 command strips. And of course we're going to need a level. If you are doing screws instead, you will need as many screws as you want to put in. What I normally do is do screws all the way around the outside and then anywhere inside where if I have any pull away. So, but there's been a lot of requests for how to use the command strips, and this wall may end up moving, so I figured this was a great use case for it. When I do kitchens, I definitely use command strips, but I haven't gotten there yet. All right, let's go to the wall. All right, so first tip, print all your boards at once. I can't tell you how much frustration it will save you to not be going back to the printers when you're halfway built. It is really frustrating. So we have 23 8x8 boards. We have 4 8x7, which are going to fit underneath the plugs. And then I did a custom cutout board. Probably shouldn't have worn a black shirt and had black grids. There you go. And it is just going to, has a cutout for the plug. So this is where we're going to build the board, and then we're going to use this as our alignment piece to kind of center everything. So I will have a link in the description for the generator for this. Comes in really handy. So my next tip is to take and orient all your boards first. So there is a countersunk hole for all your screws. Now you don't have to print it with these if you're just using the command strips, but I like to have them just as backup because I can screw into this wall if I need to, and pulling off all the command strip pieces to get another piece in behind it where it's flexing is really tough. There are other ways to do it, but we're not going into it at this point. So I always make sure that these are all set so the countersink is on the same side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this face down on the floor so that I can put all the command strip pieces on the back. And then I'll flip it over, add the cams and the covers, and then we'll mount it to the wall. So I want to make sure they're all this way just on the off chance that I need a screw. So how does this work? So we've got 2 boards. Like I said, we make sure that our countersinks are on the same side. And then we've got the interboard connectors, which I showed in the beginner's guide. So this is a hook by David D, and it's meant to hold stuff on OpenGrid. I found that this is the perfect tool for pushing in all of these. So my next tip is these interboard connectors are really small. Use up little bits of filament that you have left on rolls. They don't need to be any particular, filament type, any color. You're never going to see them. So my thing is, when I get down to the last meter or so on a roll, I print clips. So I also do the same thing for my multi-connect clips that I keep on hand. Just makes it so much easier. So once these 2 boards, like I said, All right, I'm going to move to the side so you can see once the two boards are together. Bam. We're going to take these two boards and we're simply going to snap them together. And they're pretty straightforward. Line it up and clip it together. And you can see there it's got 4. I don't want to go any more than 4 because it just gets harder and harder to line them up to get them snapped correctly. So that's all I would do. So I think you've got the gist of this part. So I'm not going to make you sit through and do all this. So let's just, through the magic of editing, get this part done. Okay, so here you go. This is the completed board. I'm going to take a minute and just put the command strips on the back, and then we're going to try to get this on the wall in one piece. Should be fun. All right, let me get this ready. All right, so after a delay for the camera battery dying, we are ready to go. All the command strips have been put on. Each section has 1 command strip. If it's a single, it's got 2 if it's a double. I have no idea if this is going to work. It's kind of heavy for command strips. I'm curious if it will. This may be a disaster in the making. So let's get started. All right, so let's get started with this. I really have no idea if this is going to work. As you'll notice, this board is pretty big. And we're going to flip it around and hope that everything fits. Because right now, I'm not so sure. All right, so this has to go up and under, which means I have to avoid all the cords under here as well. And voila. What the hell happened? Oh, I overprinted, I think. Well, that is unfortunate. Okay, so I miscounted. Let's see here. So I need this to come up to here. So I need to take 2 of these off. All right. So evidently, I mismeasured. Or something. The best laid plans of mice and men. All right. So easy enough to do that. Let's get these snapped back in. Let's just see how this is going to work now. Oh yeah. So it's a little shorter than I had expected, but that's okay. And all right. What I do need is to grab a couple of these. I'll have to go back and check my measurements because something definitely went awry. with the planning section of this video. But, all right. That, actually, other than having an extra set of tiles, that looks damn good. I wonder how many of these I'm off by. I know you can't see it because it's behind. Not bad. I'm off by 14 cells. So now what we can do is run this down and plug it back in. All right, so plug the TV back in. So I'm not going to do the full install for this video. I'm going to do it in the next one. But I did want to show you one little thing for this. And I have a link to Pedro's explanation of all the underwear pieces so that you can go in and get a deep dive on this. But I decided to go with the flared grips. It just gives you a little more grip strength because that is a pretty beefy wire. But you can see this is a standard piece of underwear. So, you know, these flex more, so it gives you a better grip in it, but this is what the standard one looks like. And like I said, I'll put a link to Pedro's. So let's go ahead and we'll get this installed, and then we'll put in the caps and the covers over off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll show you where we are stopping for this video, and we'll get going on the next one. All right, so here it's all done now. So you can look. So I had a couple places where I just could not get this to seat in correctly, so I'll get that fixed. I want to get this video out because I'm already late with it. So, but this shows you a basic guide to how to install OpenGrid. I have to say, the command strips hold far better than I thought they would. I was really worried that I was going to have to go and put screws in just to offset them, but no, it looks great. So all totaled, this took me 2.5 to 3 hours to put in. Like I said, I screwed up and printed far too many boards, so we took that down by 8. So we have 20 boards here, and I think it was pretty good. So they're 3 hours a piece, so that's 60 hours of printing. So not too bad. It was another probably 10 hours to do all the command strip connectors. So, which is the only downside of the command strips, is it takes a little more printing time, but you also don't have to repair screw holes in your wall. So, and like I've said a million times, kitchens, hollow core doors, any of that stuff, this is far and away the better solution. So really a shout out to Ansler for such a great product. There's a lot of other designers who have the same thing. I think it's just great. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this project done. I'm really happy with it. Make sure you check out the cyberpunk shelving video that's coming up. That will be a 2-part series where we take this from just the open wall to actually having an enclosure around the TV, so it's a lot of fun. This project is flown. Let's go hatch the next one. Until next time, this is Patrick, Distracted Dragon Makes. Go make something fun.